Okay, sorry about that, everybody. I'm having some technical difficulties, and I'm trying to straighten it out. Uh, okay, yes. How did I get to this? Okay, the way it looks like I'm gonna have to mute everything. Hello. Okay. I don't know if anybody's hearing this echo. Shucks, I don't. Okay. Welcome to Ladies Night. Our topic is why are black women the only one referred to our discussion now is why black women are readily referred to the B word more than any other group. And follow-up target, Megan the Stallion edition, black women protecting black men even after they hurt by them. Okay, so no echo. So this is just me. Okay, I'm gonna be a little hesitant because I'm hearing an echo and I don't know how to quite correct it. Okay, I apologize. Okay, okay, all right. Uh, black women. Okay, black women being referred to the B1 more than any other ethnic group. Yes. So, okay. Some people might say that no, all ethnic groups when they have the B word in their groups, and they refer to them all. But when it comes to black women, they immediately uh think the B word, and they be quick to call the B word, no matter what the offense. They could be defending themselves. They could be talking. They could be turning down an invitation for a date, and she becomes the B word. She could just be being herself. She just disagreeing with you, being let's see. Oh, although I don't think we just outright sassy, um, when people are mad at us, they don't like something about us, they will call us the B word. I didn't say hi, B word. Um, I didn't stop what I was doing to talk to you, B word. I didn't choose to go on a date with you, the B word. Okay, let's see. Let's try again. Okay. Um, see what's going on. Oh shoot, bad time. Okay, okay. I think I see we went wrong. Let's see. Oh shoot. Okay, I'm okay. Okay, there's gonna be some echoes when I do this. Okay. Okay. All right, let's try this again. And okay, that one should work. All right. Okay, so I can see where I was. Okay. All right. Okay. Before I get off track, yes. Yeah. 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 We should. Don't let it bother us. Get in the mood. Word. And because we don't respond to it, we are the queen bee word. Or they want to emphasize to get under our gun, get out of our skin, trigger us. Okay, let's see. All right, here we go. Okay. Oh, hey, Bill. Okay. I don't know if you hearing this that I'm hearing, but it's a little distracting. Yeah.
Slightly, but it's probably more on your side. It's just a slight echo, but it's nothing bad.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, it's loud in my ears, but it's either that or get that distortion. So I'll just deal with the echo. Ooh.
So you're discussing why um well,
Or,
black men resort to calling black women the B word so readily.
mm-hmm. They
Okay.
they were. I don't see them calling the others as often, but they quick for us. On lesser things I don't think we are acting the B word. Hmm.
Well, I think it's just a simple thing. It's a psychological thing. They've been beat down so much, and they want somebody to feel lower than them. And a bitch is a female dog, technically. So they're basically dehumanizing you and calling you a bitch and making you feel like crap, to make themselves feel better. I think that's what it is. They figure
Hmm.
like that's one of the worst things they can call somebody, a female dog. You're saying somebody is a dog.
Yeah. Hmm.
So
Yeah, and they just don't know that they're also referring to themselves as that very thing.
right. Because if you're our counterpart, you're a dog as well. So it's an insult to us all around. So, but I guess they don't think of it that way.
Well, I guess it's okay. I know when I was coming up, uh I had this friend that was in her vernacular. It wasn't quite so much in, but when I was meeting her, she didn't just call the guys. It was just her term. What's up, dog? What's up, dog? And we got gotten used to it. We would just respond to it until somebody. Oh, Bella, come on back up. You got off before I could click you on. Um, yes. Okay. Oh, where was I? Okay. And yeah. And he said, "Hey, I don't like that term be calling the dog and stuff like that. If I'm a dog, you know what that makes you, and you wouldn't want us to call you that." And I I'll be honest. At the time, being young, ignorant, and determined to be right, we start calling each other that. Hmm. We stopped because after a while we didn't like it. We didn't like it. It was
Well,
All
causing a
right.
fight. Hmm.
Okay.
well,
What's
with
it?
my friend,
Oh, y'all gotta go.
with my
Oh,
friends that just we used to call each other "What's up, bitch" and stuff like that, but it was not in a mean way. I think that's the difference, the intent. You
Hmm.
know, if you're just, it's just funny, you just something you joke around with your friends about, that's one thing. But if somebody's not talking to you, like a woman's just like ignoring you, or she don't want to talk to you, you like, oh, well, that's all right, bitch. That's a different thing. Or or like, these bitches out here doing this. It's the intent behind it. You're doing it uh degrade somebody, demean them, or whatever. But if it's all amongst your friends and they don't mind, I'm not that sensitive about it. But if somebody's being malicious about it, that's another thing.
Well, one of the things that I've seen too, right? Traveling around the world, all women do that. All women
Yeah,
call each other bees.
yeah,
It's just something that women do amongst themselves, just like guys call
right,
themselves dog, right? Like, yo, what up, dog? What up, dog? Right? But if you
exactly,
outright call a guy a dog, you're going to have a problem with it.
right,
But the thing about it with these sissy bims here, they're doing it because they want to copy white men. They want to be like white men. So, they want to be disrespectful to black women. Okay. They want
right,
to promote hatred of black women. So this is why they're always referring to black women as bitches. Okay. That's my take on that.
yeah. Yeah, and
Okay.
plain, yeah,
All right. Looks like y'all got it. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me get on out of here. This is a ladies' night. What am I doing up here? All right, ladies. Good
Hmm.
night.
Go ahead.
uh well,
Okay.
hmm,
So,
yeah, but yeah, it could be the climate at this time where on YouTube they just itching to call us the B word.
okay. But that's the thing, Dane.
Hmm.
We got to go into the history of this shit.
Hmm.
Why do they feel comfortable? Why do black women are readily called that word and we celebrate it too? And, to be true to the discussion, I've been called that and didn't feel any type of way either because we have created that word into a word of endurement. It's a greeting, it's a position, um, it's a term of love and all that thing. And we've remixed it because a bitch is a female dog. But because of our involvement in evolution and culture, it is now from the term of a female dog, because that's what the dictionary used to tell you, into a term of endurement. But my place and position in the argument is why. Why is it?
Where I feel personally, the reason why is because of the music that's being made these days. And because of we are so in tune to the beat of the music that captures us, we're not listening to the lyrics of the music. So once they capture us with the beats, we go to rocking, we go to dancing with it. But we are being disrespected, or we are not actually listening to what they are saying. But so once the lyrics actually come out, or we get to know the lyrics, by that time we do not want to stop listening to the song. We actually start singing it because it's the song that we like. We actually got in tune with the beat. That's why I think it has become a most acceptable thing. Because if I look back into the early 70s, 80s, and some even to the 90s, the music back there then did not even have the bitch, excuse me, word in it. It literally did not have those terms into the music. We actually understood the music was a little more slower. The beats was not as fast. It wasn't the beat that captured us back then. It was the music. It was the lyrics. So now it has twisted. And now it's the beats for this generation. It's the beats for the early 90s, middle 90s on up. So it's becoming acceptable because of that. That's how I personally feel.
Yeah, but you got to understand who allowed that to be the standard. We had to allow it to be the standard. For someone to call you a bitch and you feel like it's okay, and then you put a beat to it, and then you dance to it. You shake your ass, you gyrate, you do all those motions, and you make it the norm. So, where was the divide? Where did we go wrong with that? Because I will forever feel like our innate culture as a people was corrupted. because we are musical people. That's how we communicate. Someone put a music on, and if it talks to our soul, the person that we are, we're going to react to it. No matter what genre it's in, no matter what the lyrics are, we're going to react to it. So the first person to normalize this culture of degradation, unfortunately, it had to be us because women set the standard to how we are looked at, how we're perceived. So if the music started coming out, I would say the 80s, that late 80s, early 90s, that we were starting to be depicted in this form, in this nature, as bitches.
So Bella, so you're
Hmm.
saying though in a nutshell then, so since we normalized it in the music, that's why they feel comfortable saying it to people in the street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they feel comfortable. And then from that comfortability came a normalization.
But I don't think it's normal though for a guy to just be walk up and say bitch. I mean to somebody, a
It's
woman.
not. It's not. But
Between your friends, yes, it's okay. But
that
for
okay. And that
somebody,
and when
yeah,
is when it comes in with your friends, it becomes a term of endurement, a greeting.
yeah,
How
which
many times I'm guilty of it myself?
yeah,
My homegirls, hey bitch, what the fuck you doing?
yeah.
And it becomes, as the late great rest his soul, Bernie Mac, my birthday buddy, just like motherfucker, bitch becomes a noun. It names a person, a place, and a thing. And we use it as such. So are we normalizing our oppression? And is that why it's so easy to swallow with our youth? That these motherfucking crackers will do something to us and we can now find a way to excuse it off?
I don't
It's so
think
much,
so.
it's so many levels, but I've seen youth like that because our youth just see racism as this person is and then this person's not. You have racists and you don't have them, which is and still an evolution because the earlier races and the earlier generation, not earlier races, so y'all strike that from this podcast. The earlier generations, from what I look at, is took it as uh, a mistake. This person said that is they racist, is it not? But this generation is looking at a lot more loopholes into, okay, this person might have said that, but how do they react to it? And how do
They-
they treat me? And,
And I
and
believe
not all white people are racist because I have such and such friends that they didn't did more for me than the white than black people. So not all black people not all white people are racist. So whatever you're saying, Negro, is not the standard.
but it's because it's I really believe too, it's because we're innovating and they're taking notes and imitating what we're actually doing. So we're putting out there that it okay, this is okay because it's okay because Young Boy said it. It's okay because Ludacris back in 1999 came out with his music saying this bitch, that hoe, let me see. And we shook to it. We danced to it. So we innovated it. We made an innovation of it because we're making it okay. They're sitting back taking notations of it and then they're imitating it. So now, of course, when they see it, and then that on top of that, they're also doing is they're putting the females in the songs. To be honest with you, they're putting the females in the songs just to make, and it makes it look even better to them. Because you know what? Why should I feel like being called a bitch is bad when Megan Thee Stallion said it's okay? She came on the phone, she's on the song, she said, I'm that bitch. So she realized she was a bitch. You know, that's how it's literally being looked at. So when it's being looked at on the outside, of course other people is going to imitate it. Other people is going to take notes to it and it's going to carry on. It's okay for the women to be there because you have the women actually saying they calling themselves these words. You know what I'm saying? When they see each other, that's how they agree to each other. But then when they actually call us the bitch, the tone of it is aggressive, we get mad. But we have already taken into it. We have already opened the door to them calling us this.
But if you call yourself something amongst your friends, that still doesn't give somebody else permission to walk up and call you a bitch. They don't know you like that.
And
And that is true.
that is absolutely true. But we're normalizing the term of it. We're normalizing the term to make it be okay.
So so the reason why black women are referred to the B word more than any other woman is because we say it amongst ourselves.
Okay, and once again,
And not just that, the music, the music.
But I think the topic is though that question: why, if bitches just being used as a term for a woman, um, how come other races of women are not being called
Because
bitches?
we was the first to normalize it. We were the first to shake our ass to it. I'ma fuck this bitch, put her out, and we shake our ass to songs like that.
Well, we may have, but they shake their asses to it now and still ain't being called bitches. So
Because
how
we
is
the
that happening?
standard. Because we the standard. And that's the shit that's the mad fuck. Because we do shit and they criticize us for it. And then when another woman of another race do it, she's an innovator. She's an innovator. Just like that Kardashian. They talk shit to us about wearing cornrows and they're wearing colors in our hair and all that shit and you ghetto and you ratchet. And then when a bitch, a light skinned hair yellow bitch, then alter her nose to look similar to us, go and do the same thing, then she's an innovator. She's a trendsetter. There's plenty of articles on online that label her as such. So it's like we are a sacrifice for culture. They tried out on us. They talk shit about when we do it, and then when another woman do it, she's bridging the gap. She's making strides. She's an innovator. But when we did it, we Shanae Quay and Quana on the block. And we still don't recognize that. And then when we see these bitches do some shit that we was already doing, we don't say nothing about it, or we might chat about it. We try to outdo her. And then when we outdo her, because we know we came up with it first, that shit also gets subjugated, cultural appropriated, and then we try to outdo that shit too. So we're giving all our thoughts without the credit. We're giving all our talents without the credit. We're giving our blood, sweat, and tears without the credit. Countless time after countless time, we do something. but we supposed to be the bottom of the barrel, and no one sees it. We supposed to be the bottom of the fucking barrel. But every time we do something, another bitch, another hair breed, another high yellow, off-brand bitch do it, and it's a trend or an innovation. And instead of calling motherfuckers out on this shit, like, look, bitch, we've been doing this since the 90s. We've been doing this since the 80s. We've been doing this since the early 2000s. Instead of calling motherfuckers out on it, we let it go and try to outdo that. Why are we outdoing ourselves on some shit that was copyrighted from us in the first motherfucking place?
So what do
And
you
try
think?
to compete with motherfuckers that's stealing our shit in the first place.
Okay, okay, wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree with you that these Beckys are going out doing the same thing. They being coveted as, they innovating, they owning their sexuality, they owning their womanhood, but we are referred to as the slut and the hoe and the
Uh,
B word. Okay. Um, but and they'll even claim our terminology of, what's up, when we talking to our friends. They do it with themselves. They doing it with themselves. I'm seeing them, especially when they hooking up with our male counterparts, and they think we are sisters now. You have to nip that in the butt. Um, but Well, the way you're expressing it, and you saying is some ways. This is what I'm picking, getting that this is partially our doing. We kind of normalized it, and and try to claim ownership over a negative like we do the N word. Owning it and making it more than just with the hateful words with
that's
intended.
exactly what I'm saying, Dane.
Hmm.
That's
But
exactly what I'm saying.
now it's backfiring because these other ethnic groups are taking it, but instead of our counterparts, our counterparts are downing us for using the B word, claiming the B word, and calling us the B word in the ugliest negative term, not in affection like my girl, my woman, they doing it in the negative. They giving all that affection and praise to these other ethnic groups.
I think if
Speak on it.
I think it, even think if, in my opinion, if white women were the ones, say, being called the bitches in songs and whatever, first, I think we still be called bitches more than any other. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I think I think you're I think
I'm
you're
sorry.
right.
I just think it would still be that way.
Wait, in a way, it will, but I think the respect level that they were high. See, my thing about it is they might be called bitches. They might say you bitch, but I don't think that they'll be said you white bitch. You see what I'm saying? So that is I don't think that is that the bitch will be eliminated. But if you listen, honestly, if you listen to a Caucasian song, white song, or you listen to an Asian song, the though it's not even in that terminology. That is not even in their music.
Yeah, I know.
I clearly have been into bars. I've been into. I mean, I've been international with it. So therefore, I've listened to all music, and I still do listen to all music. And once again, It it's the thing that gets me is uh how they come across with it, and they still it's okay because they're using women actually in these songs to really do make it look okay. And yes, I do agree with her when she say, we probably would still be no, we wouldn't because we still would be because we use it. We use it in our terms every day. So it's gonna be that way. I think the issue of it all is when the tone of it when it's being brought to us by males. Because once again, if we're around our girls and we're going, "Hey, bitch, what you doing, bitch? I miss you, bitch." We're joking. We're That's a smile. But then you got this Caucasian person walk up or a guy walk up and be like, "Hey, you black bitch." You turn around and you automatically get mad because like who it has really turned tables and yeah into a term of doing, and you don't you we can't accept that part. We trying to figure out why is you who even gave you the which come, but he could have been just right on over there listening to me and my friend just call each other bitches within a 1 minute period.
Yeah, but we ain't responsible for other people's actions, though. The onus is too much being put on the women here. We ain't responsible for grown people's actions.
No, but we are the ones, and we got to be truthful with ourselves. We are the ones that accept it, and let's be truthful about it.
Well, I'm not accepting it. I can say all I want around my girls. If somebody walk up and call me a bitch, they liable to get stole the fuck on in the mouth. So I'm
Yeah,
not
but
accepting it.
but we made it a term. But that's
So,
the thing, though. We made it
well,
a term of endurement.
the same
We
as
made
nigga.
it
Well, y'all, I mean, you can might as well stop
exactly,
saying nigga
nigga. Yeah,
too.
that nigga too. We ain't. That's not the subject tonight, and we can get into that all night. Nigga is a good example. Also,
But
we
I
made
thought
both of
that
them words,
I,
bitch, nigga, all of that shit has become a term of endurement, and we have spent it on how our interactions with each other. Those motherfucking crackers gave us what they said it was meaning, cause nigga's supposed to mean an ignorant person of no knowledge, simpleton, and all of that shit. Nigga with an ER, and then we put an A on it, and it's a whole new word, and it's a term of endurement. A bitch is supposed to be a female dog and heat. She ready to have babies. That is what a bitch is. But we then turned into a person and a thing. So it's partly a noun.
yeah.
And we use it as a term of camaraderie. You my comrade. I fucks with you. You my bitch. You my
Hmm.
nigga. I fucks with you the long way. We 10 toes down. I cap for you. Are all the new terms that the young people use. We didn't respond to word into different things. And the thing is that all of us is the old generation or the older generation that has not died yet, that shit still take offense. Mother coming up to you and call you a black bitch, you ready to fight. A motherfucker even say you my bitch. If you old enough, you still feel some type of way. Because they from a generation that they know and feel what were used to encompass. When a motherfucker call a motherfucker nigga, it doesn't mean if you take the ER off and add an A, they remember what that word meant and how it was used and how it was projected to subjugate them. So if you call them a nigga, even if you drop the ER and add the A, they gonna feel some type of motherfucking way. So it is levels to this shit in our subjugation. And the thing is, the topic tonight, why is black women, readily called that name without, compared to other women? And I feel like we made it the standard. They tried it out with us. You got to understand our history because these people know who we are and our supremacy. If it passed with us, it'll pass with everybody else. So we allow motherfuckers to call us a nigga, a bitch, and I'm guilty of both words. So don't think I'm just being up here subjective to it. It's
I
in my
understand.
vernacular, but we've been subjected to it, and if it crossed with us, because we are, no matter how much they bad talk us and potty mouth us, at the end of the day, we are the standard for the culture, especially in this country. And when you go overseas, them motherfuckers try to imitate us because of what they see on TV with what's going on with us over here, what they let them see. So at the end of the day, also, we have the power to squash the shit or let it ride. So are we gonna let these new terms for that word ride? Or
So,
are we
hey,
gonna
look,
still have a problem with it?
I understand all the history behind it, and I understand what you're saying. So, my question is, do you think if we stop calling each other bitches, men will stop calling us bitches?
And it's gonna take maybe two generations, but we also gotta understand the premise of moving forward and developing and self-sacrifice. Even if we realize that something is not going to be done in our generation and not even in the next, we got to plant the seed and hope. We won't be here to see what actually play out, but if we do what we think is right, then we'll see it in another generation. Hip hop and rap is almost 40 years old. Those first seeds was planted almost 40 years ago. And I'm sitting here today, not even 40 years old, and can speak on it. So that's the power of planting a seed.
Yeah, yeah, but
So
I think then the topic come about because y'all were discussing how the guys were getting mad because they couldn't come in and call women bitches and stuff.
yeah,
But
because we're
I think
awakening and
that's a
we're trying
matter
to
of self
change the
control.
narrative. We're trying to change the narrative. That's what I was just
Yeah.
saying. Are we gonna let it ride or we gonna do something
Can I
about
speak
it?
for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
What are we supposed to do as women? That's why I asked the question and you didn't answer. So is it the fact that we are calling each other bitches? Is that going to stop it if we stop it? Or do they just have to have a level of self control and not call women bitches, or men to teach their sons not to call women bitches? They can stop it as well.
Okay, but that's a two-part question because first, yeah, we gotta stop it because you gotta understand that no matter how much these men pump their chest about how masculine they are and they leading the family and all of that, at the end of the day, their actions are reciprocated off of ours. So if we no longer tolerate being called a bitch, they can be mad all they want. They can talk shit. They can go to other women. They can do what they want. But if they centered around the black woman, which is their equal, which is their divine match, and we be like, nah, yeah, hold on, nigga, or hold on, whatever. You ain't gonna call me no bitch, and I'm not gonna accept it. Within a generation or two, that should be squashed. And like Ashcake was saying earlier, they started calling us bitches, and then they put us in the songs, and we was calling ourselves bitches. We that bitch. I'm gonna be that bitch. I'm forever that bitch. And that brought the acceptance in it. Even before, if anybody know the lyrics I just said that shit, we brought that with a couple of generations of women. And in the industry of mainstream music, we brought that. And that showed acceptance because if we get our own representatives with this other women on a track saying the same shit or almost the equivalent to what the men saying on it, then oh okay, then it's okay.
And then too, I look at it too. Even going back as far as some of these movies, maybe I could say it originally because I'm big on music, and that's why I say I figure it comes from music. To be honest with you, because back then I'm listening to music, going taking walks in the park, and it was more romantic. You could actually sing the song and know the lyrics was more explanatory. You could clearly hear it, and it was not about a beat back then. But now, like even looking down to the movies, I look at Ice Cube movie on Friday. Every time the first movie, it was "Hey bitch," and the women just started smiling in the movie. But they fell in love with him because he was Ice Cube in the way he played his character. But he could have started the trend to accept it. If nobody's paying attention to it, they're using us. They're literally using us to make it okay, visual, and to say, okay, yeah, it's okay for us women to do it. They ain't mean nothing about it. They ain't mean nothing by this, by calling us, but it truly is unacceptable. Can we change it? Like Bella said, I don't think so because it right now at this point, because it's gone a little too far. It's not what we used to have. It's not um the diaphragm of music is not what we used to even have, you know. So it's all about what's going to sell, what's going to make this money, you know. And it has really, I'm just sitting here just thinking of visualizing how they used to have BT late at night, and every word song that used to come on, it was about a bitch. They swiping cars across their ass. They just doing it all. And these women was accepting it. It was accepting it to the point where they took it off TV even late at night. But then they stopped bringing it visually, audio directly to music now. And they were actually still using the women. So it has become a trend setter from not even I want to say the late 90s on down. So it's not going to just take um
A
a
turn.
quick fix for it. No, I don't
Well,
believe so.
if it started in music, that's where it started, then that's where it's gonna have
That's
to
where it
end.
end. There you go.
So
That's
it's
where
not
it's
gonna
gonna
be
end.
us not saying calling each other bitch when we see our girlfriend. It's gonna have to start at the top. So because that's not gonna make
Hmm.
a difference. So
And that goes with acceptance, though, Belle. That
well,
goes
if we
with
don't accept
acceptance.
it from the music, maybe then we need to get it banned out of the music. No saying that. And then the future
Exactly.
generations won't be able to, they won't be hearing that. But I don't think it's
Exactly.
not going to happen amongst us as just individuals. It will
It's
have to be
not.
something that's influential. If it
Yeah.
started there, that's where it's going to have to
That
end.
and there you go. Exactly. And what it's gonna start is that because money make the world go round. So if common women stop accepting it, and then these motherfuckers put out that music saying, this bitch, that hoe, and we know how anybody on here old enough to know that song and them lyrics. If we stop that type of music and we stop banning it and we stop twerking to it and all that shit, they gonna change the narrative. Because and truth be the matter, our music is not even controlled by us. It's controlled by Jewish motherfuckers. They put out what they see. And that's the thing too. To look into it, they see what sells. They see what's accepted by us. and then they project it. So Spectra and all them other producers and shit putting these people on Front Street, putting them out into the public, putting a fire beat to it, and that's another thing too. That's how the trap we get caught in because we've always been musical people. Music is one of our first languages. You ever seen a baby? You put music on and they start moving to it, can't even walk. They holding on to whatever they holding on, the table, the chair, and they start bending their legs and moving up and down. That's an expression. They're expressing themselves through music. Music is our first language. It touches the soul. It imprints on the psyche. And they know this. And it seems like we don't care. And so these people see that and they know how to cater to us, to the generation. They test music, they innovate it, they change it with will. And then we have music that is garbage or what most of us of a later generation want to remove, see is garbage. But the younger generation say that shit slap. That shit hit. That shit is on point. That shit cap. And all of that shit. And that's because we let it. We let the bitch go across. We let the nigga go across. We let the get money, fuck the people around you go across. We get the money if you gotta kill a nigga go across. Nothing matters but money go across. I'm still loyal to the game go across. I didn't kill my brother go across. But when these crackers kill us, that goes under the bridge and through the water. Where's that same energy when you look? And then this is the thing about this generation, all this technology. You can look and see exactly what the fuck happened and let these motherfucking crackers come up with 10, 11 excuses. You make your opinion, outrage, disbelief, acceptance, or excuses. Because I done seen all of that. And then the world keep going around because at the end of the day, the green dollar matters. And the dollar don't hold merit to nothing because it's just a piece of paper. You break up a tree down, you shred it, you treat it with some chemicals like sulfuric acid, you lay it flat, you put some chemicals on it, and you put it out to the masses, and that's now your value. That's now what you're looking for. That's now what your life purpose is. And that's it. And whatever means possible. It's like Malcolm X theology of any means necessary has been switched to any means possible. And it doesn't matter if you select your brother, your sister, or the next motherfucker. So until we say, that's not how it's gonna go. We're not gonna do that. That music start coming on, even if we feel the fucking beat in our soul. Because I've heard songs where the beat talked to my soul, but that was the trap. Because, like I said, they know we are musical people. The beat talked to my literal soul. And then I listen to the song a couple of times and then I might hone into what the fuck they saying. And I'm like, really? Fuck this bitch, but I'm gonna give her McDonald's. Turn her ass up and trick on the bitch and all that other shit. And I'm like, ugh. And then I instantly mad because the music spoke to my soul. The music itself spoke to my soul. It awakened me. The drums, the other percussions spoke to my soul, even down to the person's voice. Cause there's some fuck shit R&B music too. This motherfucker singing on all the notes, but he talking about some bullshit. If you listen, he talking about some shit that you would normally, if you would listen to this song, subscribe to. But because that goddamn beat roll hard as a bitch, you listened, you danced to it, and you accepted it. And our enemy, and that's what we fail to realize, our enemy knows all the facets of our life. But we too busy keeping up with each other and how to keep up with them in order to understand the tactics. So yes, my comrade, once we say no and we teach our children no and we don't subscribe to their bullshit and to their music, that would be the first seed planted. I'm not saying it will stop overnight. I'm not even saying that we will be successful. But the way knowledge works, the way passing on what you know work, the way our people work, period, is that even if a person does not agree with something that you said, if it strikes a chord in their soul, they will still contemplate it. They will
Well,
still do that.
if if history is gives us any evidence of how things and progression works in our community, it'll be another 400 years before people start saying bitch. Like I said, I think it starts from the top. I don't think it's gonna be us. That is not. It wouldn't be affected that way.
Exactly.
We'd have to just go ahead and say, hey, talk to these labels and stuff. We don't want it in there anymore. We're gonna protest. If they want to protest about something, then why don't the feminists get on that and protest? If they want to protest and say we don't want to hear bitches in songs anymore, and and all that kind of stuff. Maybe that's a good cause, but it's not going to work. Yeah, you're saying the generations, and I believe, yeah, generation. But look how long it took people to get to this point where they're saying, "Oh, we're not going to take it no more." Look how many hundreds of years. That's how many hundreds of years it's going to take for people to stop saying "bitch" at this rate.
Exactly. And then this begs to differ. If we can't stop it, and the narrative has already been changed because we've already established this term of endurement.
Yeah,
So are we gonna just change what it mean altogether like we did nigga? Because we changed what that means altogether. My nigga. I have people that I know, whether friend, family, or whatever, that if they tell you a motherfucker is their nigga, they will drop their selves to cater to this person.
yeah.
Because in their mind, that's my nigga. That's my brother. I fucks with him the long way. We 10 toes down. So the younger generation and already started changing the meaning of these words. So that begs to differ. Are we making too much fuss about it? Because we come from another generation that shit is just some goddamn disrespect? Or do we need to move with times and start learning how to cater to what these young people are doing? We set the motion, they took it and run with it. We don't like where they went with it. but they're being their own people and make their own thing. So if we still want to reach them, are we to evolve with them, or are we to be stubborn and stay in our ways?
No, you know what I think that is, like I said, I mean, I said this in the beginning. I think it's more about intent. And like you said, the word has evolved into something different, just like the word nigga. And if they're gonna keep using it. It's ingrained in the culture now. So if they're turning it into something different, or it has turned into a term of endearment, then maybe just like I said, it's just more about intent. If somebody's trying to come in the chat, y'all bitches up in here, fuck y'all bitches, that's one thing. I think that's the more of the concern. Why they can't refrain from calling people bitches when they're asked not to. I mean, I think that was a whole problem. Why, like I said, why this topic came about. Why is it so important that you be able to call a woman a bitch,
Because
especially if
the
no
simple.
woman is
Okay, go
saying anything
ahead.
to you? You know.
Because it has been turned into a term of endurance.
No, I'm not.
No, no,
That's
no,
not
no,
why
no, no, no,
men
no.
come in and want to call women bitches. Men come in because they
No,
want to be
no.
malicious and mean.
Yeah, the miss listen, but I'm saying though, a term of endurement has multifaceted to it. It's a multifaceted word. Whenever a word that was offensive at first becomes a term of endurement, it has several definitions. Like most words in the English language. That's why I don't really, even though this is my first language, I don't subscribe to it because I consider it a slave language because we was beat out of whatever we knew. But once a term that was considered an offense is then turned into a term of endurement, all stops and rules is out the door.
I don't
It
believe
could
that.
it could be it could be a noun, a verb, a pronoun. It could be all that shit now. Because once that change comes and is used in a different way, and it evolves into something else, we've lost control. Just like we've lost control of our lives. We've lost control of being black. We've lost control of being African. We've lost control of our ancestry. We've lost control of who we were. We lost, well, for real. If we don't gain some grip, we have lost control of what the history books say of who we are at this time point. Once a word has been turned into an endurement and is no holds bar, we've lost control of where it can go. Because it could be all the adjectives, action words, first person, second person, pronoun, and all that other shit of what we knew it was of our older generations. So when you say that word, you now have 5 to 10 different meanings, depending on the person's body language, their eye contact, and the context of the sentence.
So when
Ever
somebody comes in and
evolving.
says you stupid bitch, that's a term
We
and
jump,
endearment
we
now.
jump, we jump on that motherfucker because, like
So
I
what you're
just
saying is,
said,
but you're
like
saying
I,
they can say that because it could be anything
no,
now.
I'm not
So they're
saying
coming.
that. I'm saying that they can say that, but how I just said, Bell, depending on what context that they say it at, that we
You
react to it. But like I said, the word is now a no holds bar word, depending on what the context is, what the situation is, what's going on before it considers what the after happens. I'm not saying that somebody, because if somebody come in here and being, what I'm saying is that being that the word has been broadened, if somebody come in here right now and be like, y'all bitches stupid as fuck. Shut the fuck up.
that's
Y'all
exactly what I
don't know what
said.
y'all talk. Exactly. I'm politicking on that. I'm elaborating on that. If somebody come in and say that, because the word has so many different meanings now, And because you have to gauge what a person's context of the word, just like if we use the word
If they come in here saying that, I'm gonna know immediately it's a malicious.
exactly, because it's become a term of endurement. A term of endurement is a term that you use to precipitate the situation that you in, to in order to add emphasis to it. That's what a term of endurement is.
A term
In
of
order to,
endearment is something that's a positive. That's not positive when
no,
somebody comes in.
adornment cannot be impositive in what you understand with the English language, because these are
Uh,
English language words. In the English language, each word has at least two to three meanings. So
Bella,
where,
Bella, hold up. You bargain a little bit.
I'm sorry, hello, can you hear me better?
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Can you hear? Okay, you understand. Just like in the word English language, term endurement might have once meant that a word was positive, but the English language is ever evolving. And from even when we was in school, because I do believe we are similar in age, is that most words in the English language has standard two meanings, three and four at the most. So this language is ever evolving. So just because you remembered, and that's what I go back to what I was saying. These children don't see shit like we used to see it. These children have created their own definitions of these words.
But these are grown ass men coming in chats. That's what I'm talking about. I'm
These
not
are
talking about
grown
terms
ass
of
men.
endearment.
These are
I'm
grown
talking
ass
about
men.
40 and 50-year-old men wanting to come
Okay.
in and call women bitches. What does that have to do with a term of endearment?
It has a lot. It
Endearment.
has a lot to do with the term and endurement,
No, it has nothing to do with
because
them. It
yes, it
has to
does
do
have a
with them
lot to
trying
do
to be
with it.
religious,
It
trying to
has a
hurt
lot.
women, and they hate women. That's all it
Okay,
is
they
to
hate.
it.
Okay, we're not saying that they don't, but what I'm saying is that being that this term has endurement to it, is that the same motherfucker that's 40, 50 years old coming in here, meaning that word is an insult. The same 20 something that is nowhere near our age or either born when that person that came in and insult you using that word uses that word as a term of camaraderie.
I understand that. I mean, we said that from the beginning, but I just don't understand what that has to do with a man not being able to control himself in a chat room and call women bitches and get mad if a man tell him you can't call women bitches in here. What does that have to do with that?
That goes with ego. That
That's
goes
the only thing I
with
was
that
talking
goes
about.
with
I know
ego.
the entire history. I know all of this, but I'm just
You
saying,
understand
why
that you
can't they
understand
control
that.
themselves?
I understand that you understand that it's history, and motherfuckers been calling bitches for about 30 years now or more and shit, because bitch was supposed to be a female dog. And then another one of us on this motherfucking panel, or now another motherfucking black woman that I know, or any other color that call themselves human, walk on forward and birth puppies. So what I'm saying, that man that comes in the chat because he doesn't like what we're saying, because he feel like we are empowered and we're downgrading his ego, that motherfucker is using one of the facets of that word. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe we was on the different pages. I came in later and or whatever of what was
Yeah,
going
we
on.
had already said this exact same thing,
Okay, well then
and
that was all.
so
See, so I'm all off with left field, trying to catch a pop fly. But
but
I hope that what I said did still take premise to it. But that doesn't excuse that Negro. But back to what y'all, where y'all, to bring myself where y'all was. That Negro that comes into this chat talking about this bitch, that hoe. You don't know what you talking about. That's bitch. That's why you this. Bitch. That's why you that. We should take it as offense because first of all, you already know what type of females on this panel. We come from the the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. So we came from a time before that word was so usually used, and it was seldom used as a compliment and more as a insult. So if you bring your sideways shiny tooth buffer head ass up here calling motherfuckers bitches, we need to eat into that motherfucking egg. So I
Yeah.
was talking about the young generation. So I forgive me, panel. Forgive me, chat. Forgive me, live, for coming in not really understanding, just giving my I was giving my understanding of what I've seen and where this world has, this word and this world has come to as having, even though I'm not from that generation, but I've seen it. Yield the flow.
Oh, seems like broke up. Well, she was borging a little bit. Um. Okay. Yeah. Bella's talking about the generation see this word as this, and that it's gonna take a long while to counter that. At least that's the impression I'm getting. But Belmort is saying no. We talking about these men coming in here grown, know better, knew the words is an insult because they are of the children of the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. That's an insult, and they intended it as an insult. Um, Dealing with them, why they feel so quick to call us the B word, or they need to call us the B word more than any other ethnic group. In fact, they'll praise those other ethnic groups, while at the same time we gotta be so many B's. Um, Even if we're doing the exact same thing, are they doing the exact same thing as us? We get the negative, they get the positive. All right. Oh, okay. Ooh, I didn't realize. Okay. Hey, before we get too much further, Lucy, you want to weigh in on this topic?
What's good, everybody? Peace to the panel, peace to the chat.
Power and
Um,
love.
Man, I just simply respond with your mama. You know, that's what I just say. Come on, that always works. They get mad. And then a bunch of other obscenities come out of their mouth. But I was in another live stream early today, and I seen one of these stupid. You could tell by the title, he's probably one of them Hebrew Israelite dudes because they famous for calling us a bitch all the time. And the first thing he did when he came into the chat was attacking the black women in the chat. We was talking about relations between African Americans and Africa and what can we do. We was talking about reparations and all this stuff. And here come this ignorant Negro attacking black women in the chat. Talking about, oh, he didn't call us out our name, he didn't call us the B word, but he was like, oh, it's y'all fault, it's y'all fault, y'all need to do this, y'all need to do that. Black women always holding the black man back and stuff. So, I think all of this is part of the sickness that we have to cure ourselves
Mhm.
from. Once we
Mhm.
cure ourselves from this mental illness that we suffer from, then we will have more respect for ourselves, therefore have respect for each other. I mean, that's just what it is. We need to come up out of this mentality where we keep bringing each other down because we're mad at each other. I mean, most of us are mad at the world because of the shit that's happened to us in the past 400 years. But, attacking each other, calling the women. I feel like when a black man calls a black woman a bitch, he talking about his mama, his sister, all the women that have, birthed him through their canals. So it's like, why even do that? This is a time where we need to be standing together and not be divided, calling each other names like that. But I tell you something else I notice online too. When I see these Karens attacking black men, they're very polite to these Karens. They're very polite. They're, okay, ma'am, you have a good day, ma'am. Okay, well, bye, ma'am. Go away, ma'am. Or they call them Karen. No, call her what she is, a white, pale-faced bitch. That's what you need to call her.
Ashe. Ashe.
Stop calling her that. Call them hoes bitches. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really the real bitch is the white woman. She is the real bitch. She smell like a bitch. What you said, Bella? A bitch is a female dog and eat right. She
Yep.
smell like one. She act like one. She talk like one. She walk like one. Literally, literally. You know them places in Eastern Europe and Turkey and stuff. They still walk on all fours. So it's like, who you calling a bitch? Mm. That white woman more closer to a female dog than we will ever be. You know. But as far as like the music and stuff, yeah, that's gotten out of control. You know, the last couple of days, I done took a trip back into the 70s and 80s and even the early part of 90s when we had groups like Immature and ABC and Troop and the Whispers. And, I mean, even Johnny Gill. Johnny Gill made a nasty song. To him, so what is it? Um, Rub You the Right Way. That nigga talking about all kinds of nasty stuff, how he want to stroke and all that stuff. Not once did he say anything derogatory or nasty, like out the way nasty. It took me to an adult to figure out what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? So
It's so true. That is so true.
it's a shame. I think all of us are out of control, and we need to gain back the control of our systems, of our original systems, how we used to treat each other, how we used to respect each other. You know, because like I said earlier, usually the word bitch is to be derogatory or insult to someone, and I think the music and the television has made it like just a word that we just toss around, kind of like love. People say I love you. If, you know, people say, "Oh, I got love for you. I love you." It don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just think we need to take back our culture and correct ourselves. We have to do that ourselves. We can't wait for nobody else to do it. We have to do that ourselves. So
That is
we're in this cancel culture right now. So I think it's a whole lot of people we need to cancel. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
On that note, I mean, even my favorite rappers like Nas, he said it. You know,
Oh man.
Tupac. Oh God, Tupac. You know, and I found myself not listening to a lot of the music from the late '90s and the early 2K anymore because I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or what, but I can't handle all that cussing and stuff. I don't want to hear all that. I'm like, can I cuss up a storm? Y'all know me. My mouth is like a
Mm,
sieve, you know.
reckless.
But I don't want to listen. You know, I don't want to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? All the time. I just really don't. It felt good taking a blast to the past this week, listening to some of that old school music, man. I felt so much better. But that's what I got to say about it. We need to take back our culture. We need to correct ourselves. We need to heal ourselves, and it start with us. We can't wait for mainstream media to correct it. Boycotting and protesting and marching, all that shit ain't gonna do it. We need to take the power in our own hands and just stop listening to that trash and stop buying that trash.
stop
And
bad.
teach our
There you
Exactly.
kids.
go.
Hmm.
I
That's
said that.
It's the power of our money, our
That's what
buying
Right.
I
power.
said. If we
And
stop
teach
buying
our
shit and
children
say
better.
no, that's the end of that shit. If we
Mm-hmm.
raise our kids, because a lot of us on the panel got kids old enough or young enough that we still have some type of influence on them. And if we
Mm-hmm.
teach them the narrative that we want them to understand, they will follow our suit. Even if they rebel, what we teach them will still be in the back of their minds. So it's certain things they will accept and it's certain things that they will incorporate within themselves. We did the same thing. It's certain things about my mama that I incorporate and it's certain things that I just was like, no, I can't do that within the person that I am. And that's what we got to do. If we stop giving these people our attention, they will either fade away or evolve because that's
Yeah,
the only
both
way
of
to
us have to
survive.
do that.
You either die or you evolve. That's the only thing you can do in this life, in
Mm-hmm.
human nature, to survive this planet. Because as beautiful as this planet is, it can be unforgiving at times, depending on where you at and what's going on. So if we
Mm-hmm.
give them certain seeds, we plant certain seeds with them, they will either follow us, go on their own way, but you can guarantee that if their way does not work, because it's in human nature to go back your way first. They will go back to what they learned, go back to what they know, and they will
Right.
pull from that.
Let me
So
ask y'all
it's
a question.
yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bella. Go ahead, finish. My bad.
No, 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 no. I was finished. Go ahead, baby.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think that this is something that black women can fix on our own, or do you think we need the help of black men? Because
Of
I
course
find
we
it
do.
difficult. I think I find it difficult for black women or women, period, to check a man.
Thank
You
you.
know what I'm saying? But if the other men check each other, like yo, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like what Max is doing on this channel, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? Check these brothers, man, because it's like the more we scream and holler and yell, the more we're gonna get called a bitch.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
know what I'm
and you're right. It needs to be the man, but men like Max listen to us, and he is the standard. So if we have men like Max that actually, even if he don't want to follow what we say, he feel like he's the lead and he's the man and he's supposed to be in control. If he's listening to the women in the background, he will project what we're saying
Right.
and he will be our advocate. But
Mm-hmm.
so we have to. I feel like it's us first. We are the birth of the nation. We are the ones that give life to men and women. So we can encapsulate and intrigue and bring in the men that will listen to us. They will be our campaign, which was our divine position anyway. We were supposed to be the ones that brought thought, that brought intrigue, that tickled the mind, the ones that innovated what went on in our society, and the men were the ones that whatever we went, wherever we articulated, they brought it into physical manifestation. So Max is that type of man.
Mm-hmm.
We
Well,
need to find.
it would have to be a whole bunch of other channels of men doing the exact same thing, telling
Okay,
these people for that for that to
you're
take
absolutely
hold,
right.
like
But
Lucy is saying.
I'm a minimalist. I feel like that we look at us as a whole, which is sad. It's a sad situation as us as a whole. If you're on any social media platform and really watch and listen, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, any of that shit, even TikTok, that if we don't take the standard and men put out their content, and we have to put out the content first for the men that fits the mold to see and be like, okay, this queen, this goddess, this black woman is saying some shit that resonates to my soul. So therefore I will campaign, be her guard, be her knight, be her comfort and her soldier, and project what she's saying. That's the type of man that we need. Even if we get one, like Max, we got one. Max, we're sitting
Mm-hmm.
up here on his platform on Ladies' Night, something that he encourages us to do, and we're speaking our mind. That's him breaking the mold right there. How many
Mm-hmm.
other these men on social media is doing the same thing?
They need to
Given
be.
well, exactly, they need to be. So these live streams that we do, however
Mm-hmm.
many people we have in the chat, men or women, but we're talking about the men. Even if we have three men in the chat, if one of them feels what we're saying, it encompasses their being, they feel intrigued and inspired, and they go out and preach what the fuck we talking about, We've made strides. We keep looking for quantity when we should be looking at quality. Because even with quantity, even if we don't get the numbers, we still have the sincerity and the purity in what we're doing and what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
And
all
that's what
good for your personal gratification and for your spirit to feel healthy and all that. But I just still say, at that rate, it's going to be another 400 years before bitch is eradicated. So,
that's you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, but that's still looking at quantity instead of quality. Our goal, because we've let this subjugation, integration, um, mutilation, or whatever Asian you want to call it, we've let it get to a point where we have to just grasp for the straws where we can find it. Now, back in the 60s, back in the 50s, back in the turn of the century, before the turn of the century, before uh, the Zoot Suits and the Renaissance, the Harlem Renaissance, and during the time of the Revolution, and we had that newfound freedom, and us as Negroes in this country didn't know what to do with ourselves. We made molds, we made strides, we set the mold for what we wanted to do. We have moved past that. That was our time. But we let World War I, World War II happen in the 30s, 20s, 30s, and 40s, that we've lost that window. That, like I said, we're now at grasping straws. So if we reach anyone, we've done strides because we let that window pass when we could have did more. Now, I have seen, and I'm proud to see it, more and more young people, because I try to stay in tune with social media. Not they might not be on the same quite page as we are, but they're making strides into keeping being black, being African, staying close to our roots alive. And that's still a victory in itself. We cannot look at our small battles and scoff at them as not progress because we're in a war. We might not win the war, but as long as we win individual battles, us as being Africans will always stay alive. Point blank and period. It might not be what you want to see. It might not be mainstream. Excuse me. But we're still there. We're still a thorn in their side. Even a small thorn causes pain. It takes notice. You know that's there. And being that we are the second populous group on this planet, any small stride that we make is a stride forward to us staying relevant as a people, us surviving this planet that has been so harsh and unforgiving to us. We've been put in situations that these crackers then jumped off buildings on. How many of us is broke right now? How many of us can count coins in our bank account? Would you consider killing yourself for it? Hell the fuck no. We gonna find a way to make every last one of them coins we got in the bank make sense. Because that's us as a people, we are survivors. No matter what these people have thrown to us, we found a way to survive no matter the hurt, the resentment, the egos, the subjugation. We found a way. to make shit work. As I say, make shit shake. We make shit shake every day. These people keep throwing their assaults, their weapons, their aggression, their violence at us. Even though we have so many that's like turning the other cheek, even those ones that turn the other cheek, they still stay true to being quote unquote black. Their church is black, the neighborhood they live in is black, most of their friends is black. Anything they do on social media is talking about something that encompasses us as being black. They honor their grandmother, they honor their ancestors, even if they don't call it that. So no matter how much they beat their white into us, the black still stays true. Our narrative today is to make sure the definition of what being black continues on with as little interference as possible. Because even though they brought us to this continent, they shaved our heads, they beat us out of talking our language, they changed our names, they gave us a new religion. To this day, you see Shaniquas, Makwanas, Davions. Those are not European names. Even if you can't relate to it, those are premises as African names. That's a premise in our heritage. It might not mean nothing like the traditional African name does, but to us, we pull it from inside our heart and our soul. And our soul comes from the motherland. So your Daquanas, your Keyshanas, your Davions, your Kevions, your Avantes are still premise, even if you're disconnected in mind and soul, you're still on the continent. Because those are not Sarah, Becca, Brad, or none of that shit.
I
Even
got a
all of
question
that
for you.
shit that they did to us. We still pull our names from our soul.
Mhm. I got a question for you, Bella.
Yeah, baby.
When you was in Ghana, how many times did an African man ask you, why do the black American man call us bitch?
I didn't get that one question. I didn't get that question once because
I
they
get
view
that a
us
lot.
different. You do?
I get that
I
a
didn't
lot.
get that.
Yes,
I
they
didn't
do.
get
They
that
ask
not
me
once.
all the time, why do the black American man call y'all bitches? I get asked that all the time. Like,
I
why they do
haven't
that?
got.
They say they
I haven't
see
got
them
that
on
while I was
social media.
there, but I got that with I try to connect with a lot of them in virtual ways, and I
Mhm.
connect with a lot of them virtually, and I have had those type of questions. But when I was there, I didn't get those questions at all. I was the one asking questions. I never got
Mhm.
many questions about how or why we was. But
You know,
I do know that they take offense to that. The reason that they ask us that because they take offense to that because
mhm.
they believe that the black woman, is the bringer of life, so she should be upheld.
Yep,
She should be seen as esteemed. Should have esteem. So they,
yep.
even though they copy our culture, some of the shit that we do, they is like,
They
why?
find it absurd. Yeah, they
They
find it
find it
absurd.
absurd. They find it absurd, and they like, why is that? Like I told one of the African friends, real name, he was very offended because he was like, your name means
Well,
nothing.
Bella, I hate to interrupt, but you're
You
borging
bored.
kind of back, and you
I'm
lowering
Morgan
your voice
man.
is lowering. Yes, you
Mhm.
borging and you getting lower.
Check one, check two. Phone check.
Yeah, you still bored.
Yeah, it's even worse.
Oh my
Yeah, it's
God.
embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing.
Ooh.
But I tell you something that they don't ask me. They don't ask me, well, what are black women doing in America for the black men to call you bitch? They don't ask me that. They automatically assume that there's something wrong with the black man or why he come out his mouth like that about his mothers, his sisters, the females, your counterpart. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't create more black people without me. And I don't care what them Hebrew Israelite niggas talk about. You cannot make another black person with anybody other than another black person. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, it's embarrassing, man. I was embarrassed. I'm like, damn. And then the next thing they said, well, sister, you are on the continent now. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry
Yeah.
about being called bitch here. And I
Yeah.
have not
Absolutely.
been called, I've been called white woman. I've been called, to me, that's bitch. But I've been called white woman. I've been called Obruni. You know what I'm saying? I've been called other things, but I never was called a bitch. And I done
Yeah.
slapped a couple of these Negroes over here too, and still ain't get called bitch.
Yeah. They don't. They understand it. And for real, a lot of them don't understand us calling each other nigga.
Yeah, but they
They
starting
don't
to pick up
understand
that
that.
though. They're picking
Yeah,
up
they
on
been
that.
up my nigga. They'll say nigga because, as I said, they see it as a term because we use it that way. They see it as a term of endurement
Yeah, I don't
because
think the
we
black people
doing
don't
it.
pick that the bitch word over here though. I don't
But
think
I
they're
don't
gonna do
know
that.
if it's gonna be a while. If it ever catches steam, it'll be a while before the word bitch catch clout. But that word nigga, word nigga is already over there. They
Hmm.
call motherfuckers my nigga, this my nigga, all that shit. They use it as a term of endurement. And unfortunately, a lot of them, please don't hate me, chat. Tupac.
Yeah, yeah. They listen to a lot of Tupac and Ja Rule.
Yeah,
They listen to a lot of Tupac and Ja Rule over here.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
where did
They
y'all dig these Ja Rule albums up from, man?
exactly like where the fuck you get Ja Rule from? Like Tupac and Ja Rule do not hold a candle to each other. And then this is my on that Amigos shit. So they own that mumble rap shit. I have friends from South Africa that beg me to download songs that they can't get access to and send them to them. And I'm like, this is an Amigos song. And I'll listen to it and I'm like, man, I ain't sending you this shit. What the fuck you mean you want me to send you this shit? I'm not sending you this shit. And they beg me, please, queen, sister,
Yeah, they playing that
black
trash music over
black,
here.
black
The
woman. And
Nigerians are playing it.
it's never like fuck you, bitch. Da, 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 da. It's queen, sister, black woman. Please send me this song. I need this song. It speaks to me. Da 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 da. It's
Mm-hmm.
never out of disrespect.
Yeah, our music is leeching over here. It's
Yeah,
definitely
it
leeching
is.
over.
This is what I went to South
Trash.
Africa. When I went to
Not even
South
trash.
Africa and
Mm-hmm.
motherfuckers was sagging their pants, I'm talking about the whole pants, the whole waist of the pants was under their ass cheek. And I'm in the motherfucking club. And I'm like, look at this gay ass, fugazi and shit. And the motherfucker I'm with is like, queen, leave it alone. It's just fashion. Fashion? You know that mean well, you know that's prison culture, right? And I educate them. That's prison culture. And they'll still tell me, oh, well it's just fashion. Or remember
Yeah.
that time we was in Cape Coast when our friend went to that the other African, his fellow brother, and told him that sagging his pants was prison culture. And he laughed and told
Mm-hmm.
us we were lying and then
Mm-hmm.
walked away with his pants under his goddamn ass cheek.
Oh, Chad, I done seen the Nigerians here with their whole booty cracks out. I'm talking about
Oh
the
no, not
whole
the
cheeks out.
not the butt cleavage.
Yeah, I ain't even talking about the plumber's crack when they bend over. I'm talking about standing up and them black cheeks was saying hello,
Do they not
hi.
know what that's an invitation to?
I
Man,
tried
look,
to
it's
do
mosquitoes out here that carry malaria. Why do you have your
that.
ass cheeks out? You know
You
what I'm
know,
saying?
we been trying to tell them, but malaria ain't shit to them. Malaria is like catching the cold. They down
Yeah,
for 2 to 3 days and then they back like good crack
yeah.
because they have immunity to it. So they get stung the fuck up, so they don't mean nothing to them. So they whole A, the top of their ass is
No, the
bulging
whole
out.
booty cheeks. The whole booty cheeks was
Well,
out.
I'm gonna
Not
run
just
up on a
the crack
motherfucker and
part.
slap him because I could be a pervert. And if you got them tight, dark African cheeks glistening in the motherfucking night moon, I'm gonna go slap your goddamn cheeks because you done brought them up. So, you
Uh,
know,
good thing I ain't up there. Be paddle happy. Be like,
who is
but you
that?
invited me. You told me I
Exactly.
could
I used
drink
to do that shit in school, right? Motherfuckers just said, not like
That's how
me.
you used to do
Let a
my little
motherfucker
brother.
come past me when I was in high school with they goddamn pants sagging and that booty was plump. And that motherfucker was muscular, sitting up in them goddamn dungarees or whatever,
Mhm.
sitting on swole and shit. I was gonna pitch your booty
Mhm.
straight up.
My brother, I kicked him in his ass when he came in my grandma's house with his pants sack, and I put my foot and made sure I had no shoes on so I can wiggle my toes in his crack.
I
So he,
um I
Oh, oh, oh.
I get a
Wait a
crack up
minute.
his
yeah,
ass
he don't
like that
come
one
around me no
time.
more with the pants sagging. Yeah, he don't
I,
come around me no
I
more doing.
yeah, I get a crack in his ass like that one time. Um, when I was younger, my grandma used to watch these little white kids, and the boy was particularly bad. That motherfucker used to cuss his mama out, his little sister, and everything. And one day, my grandma had brought me over there and left me, and I'm in the house with these three crackers. And the little boy was talking shit to his mama, beating up on his little sister. Me and him was about the same age. So the little girl was younger, and then his mama in there. He didn't kick this mama in the shin and everything. And he kicked his little sister up her ass. And I felt some type of goddamn way because she started crying them little blonde tears. And I probably about 7 years old. And I was like, stoop down and let me show you how I kick. And this dumb little fucker stooped down like a frog. You know how you bend all the way down with your knees up to your chest? And I walked back, ran up, and kicked him up his ass. And from the front room to the kitchen, I kicked him into the kitchen. And his mama laughed her motherfucking ass off. And I bet you whenever I came around, that little cracker didn't fuck with his mama or his sister no more.
And it's crazy because I got two boys, 17 and 15. And I want to say my oldest was like 15 and the baby boy was like 11. And so, of course, the baby boy will follow what the oldest one is doing. So they're in the house getting dressed for school. I'm watching them. They actually pulling their pants down to fit to a right position and got the shirt going on. So I didn't say anything right at that moment. So we going out the house, and I said, "Well, what's going on? Why I see y'all drawers today? I bought them. I don't need to see them. I check them. I go through to make sure y'all take a bath." So my oldest son looked at me and was like, "Mom, that's because I got swag." So I said, "You got swag, baby?" He said, "Yeah, I got swag." So of course the baby boy, he go, "Me too, Mom. I got swag too." So I said, "Okay, both of y'all got swag." So my children know me. When I say stuff and I just leave it alone periodically, they be like, "Well, why you say that, Mom? Why you laughed at it or you smirked when you said, oh, y'all got swag?" I said, "But oh, cause y'all suddenly weird and gay." So My oldest looked at me and
Just
said,
suddenly,
so
suddenly,
suddenly weird and gay. Swag. So my oldest looked at me and said, I ain't gay. I said, well, you just told me that you got swag. So he was like, I do. I said, okay, well, you suddenly weird and gay. So he looked at me and said, no, I'm not. So I said, go when we get in the car, pull your book out, write SWAG, cross your paper, and then go down under S, and I spelled Sunday for him. Under W, I spelled weird. Under A, I say and G, I said gay. So he said, that's what that means. I said, because everything up in the prison, that's what they walk around when they give you invitations. They were straight when they was out on the street. As soon as they got in the jail, they became suddenly weird and gay. And you cannot pay my boys to this day to sag their pants. Period. And they be looking at other people like, you got your pants, you suddenly weird and gay. Like, now we're gonna be fighting. But it's how you teach them. It's how you teach them and how you put things to them, especially with this generation. In order for them to even understand that they don't want to be characterized in that order. They don't want to be, they don't want to be that. And they always say, well, Mom, we ain't going nobody to jail. And so, but it kind of backfired on me after a while. One of them was Kevion, which is my baby's boy. He had that same day he had to draw a picture of things that they did not want to do or did or wanted to be. It was wanted to be, and in the picture that they did not want to be. And he drew a jail cell and a boy with his pants down.
in jail. He in jail with his pants sagging, girl.
Yeah, he put it with his pants down. In the caption, he put, I don't want to be suddenly weird and gay.
Sure, the booty meat warrior gonna get him.
Right. So,
What was that nigga name? The booty meat warrior?
I forgot. But his teacher called me. And his teacher said, Miss Fair, and I said, she said, what was going on this morning? I said, what you mean? That's what I'm thinking. Said, bad. She said, well, Kevion said they had to draw something that they wanted to be and something they did not want to be. So he said he didn't want to be a jail for he didn't want to go to jail. And he had to pass it. And I said, I could not believe it. I said, please send it home to me. And she said that right now, I have it at home. I can pull it out. But it's just what we teach our children and how we raise them to certain things. And I worked in, like I said, I said about it, I worked in the school system for 15 years. So I seen a little bit of everything. And what I said was, I'm not going to leave this type of job until my kids get old enough so where they really do understand. And I'm going to keep up with them with this trend setup. And even now, so what we were talking about earlier, I play a lot of old school stuff in my house. My 19-year-old would sing all the old school songs, and her friends would come over, or they'd come over. They'd be like, how you know this song? She'd be like, well, matter of fact, she made a post on Facebook, something. Y'all don't never know what it is to clean up unless y'all got some oldest but goodest playing around your house. Somebody said, well, how do you know about that? She was like, because my mama, that's all she played. So my 17-year-old was in the room the other day, and I was playing Keisha Cole. And he had a heartfelt. So then I started playing rock bass. The junk, I want to rock right now. I'm rock bass and a cane to get down. And he was literally in the middle of my floor singing it. And I was like, what you know about that song? He said, I can't tell you what I know about it. All I know is you play it too much. But it's about what we teach them. and how what we are putting into their minds, and also trying to, the more you keep up with them, and I tell anybody this, the more you can keep up with the generation of your child, you can knock down that barrier before it gets there with them. Because if you don't, it only takes a quick second for your child to lean away with 100 things within that 1 millimeter of that second. Best believe me when I tell you this. I used to tell parents all the time, the school, and people don't believe it. If you are a working parent and your schedule is from 9 to 5, when you get off of work at 5, you're not making it home till 6. Your children has already been home, I'm gonna say in Virginia, for at least 3 hours before you walk through the door. You wake them up in the morning, you send them off to school. By the time you get home, you're making dinner. Once again, the attention span is still not there to focus on your child. The next time y'all might have a meeting is a recap of what the day might be, and that's probably briefly. What's doing good, that's probably briefly. The school system and the streets can catch a hold of to your child or what they be around very faster than what you can. So if you're not on top of what you see or what's going on, then I tell anybody, you're quick to lose your child in the mixture of this faster than anything else. So like I said, I worked in the school system for 15 years for the benefits of being paid, but for also the benefits to keep up with my kids. So everything that they did, Mom, how you know about that? Don't even try. Don't even try. See, because little Renee ran there to school today, she was doing that same little mess. And you know what I told her? So I caught it before they even tried, and I put a stop to it. So if you don't, as I tell anybody, if you're not there, if you don't know what's going on, or if I'm singing a song and they already know, Mom, what you know about that song? That's not what we're gonna sing today. Did you hear what she said? No, you didn't hear what she said. Did you hear what he said? No, you didn't. He actually said he was gonna shoot your mama, bring a brick. He could shoot your mama, take your grandma pocketbook, and run through her house. Ain't nobody taking my pocketbook. Ain't nobody shooting up my house, and they definitely ain't running through here. So I don't even know why you trying to sing it. So, the way you put it to them, if you put it to them exactly how it's being taught out here and narrow it down, but then you give them the reason why you're narrowing it down, you ain't gotta worry. You ain't gotta worry about it. And once again, my 14-year-old looked at me and was like, when we were singing, man, he was like, that new song, WAP. He was like, what you want to sing a song like that for, Mom? You want somebody to know that you got a wet, poo-poo. I said, what? That's what WAP is. So he like, yeah. I was like, oh, well, you right, son. You need to sing that. He was like, you right, Mom. You sure don't need to sing that. I was like, okay, change this song. But somebody just asked me, what actually you got a WAP. I ain't know that's what she was saying. He said, but you telling us not to sing something. I'm like, once again, I was that one that goes right into the beat. I'm like, oh, she jumping. God, they jump hard. And I listened to the lyrics, and the whole time she's describing how wet her coochie could be. And how her coochie got her this ring. And she ain't got to clean or cook, but she still got that ring because she got a wet coochie. That's what I got out of the song. I mean, when we narrow it down, she ain't got it.
Oh my goodness.
Nobody. She ain't got to cook her. She ain't got to cook no food. She ain't got to clean no house. All she got to do is have some drip drop. and that's go get the ring. Is that something I want my daughter to have? No, I don't want her to walk around with a drip drop and don't know nothing about raising nothing or cooking or cleaning, baby. No, don't you sing that song? Me nor you go sing that. But them the lyrics out here, and then the video ain't even no better. They humping the floor, and I don't cook, I don't clean, but I got this ring, girl. Okay, you know
Yeah. Oh
she got.
man. You know, well, a lot of girls raising them to be quote unquote nomads. As long as your ass is clean, it don't matter what the hell you got on, because your clothes clean too. Be who you are. As long as you don't break your neck, you can climb that tree. You can walk barefoot. Uh, you can ride. You can walk. You can play in the neighborhood. Just be yourself. And for me, that has worked out. They rough around the edges. When they old enough, I teach them how to cook. Everybody in the house got a chore, and that's how we live. My oldest girl is 16, and you can't pay her to talk to nobody about nothing if it's not her drawing. And I know that raising them like that might fuck up their social skills, but they can be themselves. They're that awkward person that has their own personality. Hair all over their head. Ain't the two well the two youngest ones never had a perm, never had their hair straightened, never had any type of heat in their hair. The oldest one, my mother snuck and put a perm in her hair. That was her one and only. Because I feel like that if you give kids an environment to be themselves and don't imprint yourself on them, other than your values, not your personality, but your values, that they will be able to flourish and be the type of people that they want to be. Like right now, in my time zone, 7 at night, and they're running through the house as we speak. I'm looking at them with my eyes as I talk to y'all, blowing bubbles in their drawers with nothing else on, having fun, and they're kids, 6 and 8. And I'm gonna let them do that until they tire themselves out or the bubbles all go. I'm letting them be kids. And I feel like we try to imprint ourselves and society on them too much. I was able to be a kid and stay a kid as long as I wanted to be a kid. And on the y'all on the panel may not know, and in the chat, but Ashcake is my older cousin, and they gave me hell for being who I was, because she was city and I was country. So I ran barefooted and she wore the latest whatever. And when I came to visit, which was often, they gave me hell for that. But I didn't let it negate who I was. And that goes to show you back to what we was talking about, that if we put our minds to it, we could change this narrative. Because with all the grief that my quote unquote city cousins gave me, even though I was from the city, I just moved when I was younger down to a rural area. And I embraced the place that I was because that connected with my energy. It connected to who I was. That you don't have to, be with whoever tells you to be. But we live in a society where I feel like we let our emotions and what people think of us get in the way too much. We strive too much to be like everybody else. Being an individual is dying. And if we want to, excuse me, y'all, if we want to get this word, this bitch word, this nigga word, or any other negative notation of how we see ourselves or we find what is offensive, we gotta first just don't accept it. Like like I was saying with my story. I come to visit and because I didn't have what they had on, they gave me hell. But even though all the hell that they gave me, I never changed who the hell I was. Cause every time I came back, I still had on what the hell I wanted. It was still more jokes. It was still more banter or whatever. And at the end of the day, even though they talk shit, I talk my shit, we still all had fun. So when you build that esteem for yourself, and especially when you build that esteem as a people, it don't matter what the hell they put on, what they say, the narrative that they try to build. You're true to self. You move forward, you make strides, and you do what you got to do. So that's my final thought on that word. I have. I just feel like if we say no, change the narrative, it might not be in our lifetimes, maybe in the next, by the end of theirs, because hopefully these babies will live to be 70, 80 years old, and we move from there. I yield the floor.
Where I'm like Lucy, you come to me with it. It's always your mama. Is she in the room? Or did your sister? Is she in the room? Well, if it's not that, then I don't know who you talking to. But speaking on it, my final thought to all of it is that as long as we prance around, dance to it, um, let make it known that we are comfortable with, it being said to us, um, whether it's jokingly, what we have to put a stop at is accepting it jokingly, giving it and then accepting it, calling it out. Um, because of course nobody's gonna believe or change it if we don't start to stop ourselves. Again, as far as the supportance of the music, no, I mean we shouldn't even support it being said. Maybe we need to get into listening to actually what the words are saying instead of listening how the beat rocks to get us to move into it, to get us to like it. Um, Maybe having more group sessions with younger females, even with younger guys, because that's not even, what not thinking, that's not even out there no more. We used to have empowerment the brother and sister group, big brother, big sister, the Yes program, the Youth Empowerment Services program. Um, none of that is actually out here for us no more. To where we can, well, for these kids, to where the resources, there you go, the resources is not, the resources is even gone. God dang. Think about it. The resources is even gone. So, and I think what's so hard about it is we, somewhere down the line, some parents' skills has also elapsed and gone out of the window because we got the mamas out shaking their tail in the club to Megan Thee Stallion, and then coming home to the daughter, um, and Cardi B and a little Beyonce, and then coming home to the daughter like, girl, I was in the club tonight, girl, you should have heard that song. She was like, I'm that bitch, and this dance going with it. So, and we're smiling. So now my daughter get to accept it as well. So she think it's okay. And so she acknowledging her friend with the bitch. And then her friend, boyfriend walk up, so what y'all bitches doing? So yeah. Um, I think that we have to take a hold of it ourselves. I think we really have to take a hold of it. And no, it's not gonna be fixed today, and no, it's not gonna be fixed tomorrow, and no, it probably won't be fixed in a long time. But what we can do though is we can narrow it down. We can narrow it. That's not a way we can't say we can't narrow it. We can narrow it down, and we gotta start somewhere. That's my final thought on
Okay, Lucy, do you have any a thing you want to say about it? Round it up.
Yeah, I will leave you ladies with this. All the ladies on the panel and the ladies in the chat and those that will hear the replay. It ain't what you're called, it's what you answer to. Straight up. They can call you whatever the hell they want to call you. It's what you answer to. You know what I'm saying? And that'll help bring down the stress and the anger. Because with me being a Marine, so with bitch being a female dog, and Marines are called devil dogs. I've been got over men calling me a bitch because I'm like, okay, I'm a devil dog. I'm a Marine. Okay, whatever. I let it roll off my back then. But yeah, it's what you answer to, man. If you ain't no bitch, then why would you be worrying about what some dude, some ignorant ass dude, is saying on his mouth? On the flip side, for the men that do like to use that word, just be prepared to get called a bitch ass nigga. Cause see, they don't like that.
They definitely don't. They don't. They definitely don't. Like, I'm gonna show you a bitch ass nigga. What? Ain't no bitch about me, Shawty. Ain't no punk about me. Who the fuck you think you talking to? Yo, bitch ass. The fuck?
Yeah.
Like bitch
and,
ass,
and see, he
shiny
answered
tube,
to it.
buff
And he
cloak,
answered to it.
tap
So apparently
dancing,
he is the
jigaboo
bitch
ass
ass.
nigga.
Hit their soul. That's just right there, Lucy. Hit their soul. Boy, I'm trying to tell you.
Hit dogs holler. I tell you that.
There you
Hit
go.
real quick. That's
That
how I
one
know you a
and the
bitch.
other one.
That's how they be.
All right, we got
Yeah.
time to go into the next topic before Lucy gotta go.
Okay, well, we passed the 2 hour mark. If Lucy is up to going a little bit longer, we can go into the topic. Okay, coincidentally enough,
What's
Meg the
that?
Stallion edition,
Oh
Black
Uh-huh.
God.
women protecting black men even after they've been hurt by them.
Mm.
Mm.
I
Ooh.
got stories. Who
Okay.
want
Was
to
she
hear
protecting
them?
that dude? She protecting that
Yes,
dude?
yes,
Well,
she was.
initially, okay. Let me just cap it up real quick.
Get it, Dame.
Meg the Stallion got an argument with Tony, whatever his name is. Um, she walked away from the argument. She just had enough of it. He shot her in the foot. People in the surrounding areas heard gunshot, call the police. knowing his situation, and because of Black Lives Matters and all the things, and we can't trust the police no more. She was too afraid to say anything, so she did not tell the police what happened. She said her back was turned, she got shot. She didn't see who shot her, you know, um, and also because of the situation. Okay, hospital. She still didn't tell. Once they got away, police figured she could tell it did. Nope, she still didn't tell. Okay, now it's she's being made fun of. Um, his peoples are saying stuff about her, about what had happened and stuff like that. So she's coming out with it. Yeah, he shot me. Okay, Bella, go ahead with the information you have. Or did I spill it?
Okay, so um, I feel like first of all that uh, on the premise of black women protecting black men even after they hurt us, I feel like we do that all the time and we don't get no credit. But if you wanted me to speak on her, she held her ground in what she believed in and her character for as long as she can. But all of us know that if a motherfucking, even if you trying to hold true to yourself and a motherfucker keep yep, picking and pecking at you, eventually you gonna bite back. So I feel like that video that she put out saying what really happened was just that. See, nigga, I was trying to save not only you, I was trying to save me because she committed perjury within herself for not telling what the fuck happened. After a couple of times of being able to tell what happened. So I'm trying to leave this shit alone. Nigga, you didn't almost cripple me. Cause motherfucker get foot shot in the feet, you can't walk right for a minute. This girl is an entertainer. Both of them make their money by entertaining. So you just
What this nigga
shot
thought he
me.
was on Harlem Nights or something? I mean, what the
I don't
fuck?
know. That's the first thing I thought. AD try to be funny. You want to hit me with a try and shoot me in my pinky? So I thought that first goddamn shit. But anyway, so
He's
no,
a
but
big
this is how I see it because this is what she said. She said that they was all in the car arguing. Everybody, it was four of them in the car. All of them was arguing. She in the front, him in the back. Driving probably was a security guard. Her homegirl was in the back seat with homeboy. And she said she was just basically tired of motherfucking arguing. So they was wanting but a few miles away from her house. So she slammed, got the fuck up out the car. How many of us that got mad and just walked the fuck away like fuck you, I walk
mm,
and just got out the car. But being that his little short midget ass and his ego, I feel like I'm everybody don't in the chat, whoever listen to this, I'm just giving my opinion. I feel like because I know niggas like this motherfucker. Oh, I'm not finished with you, bitch. Where the fuck you think you going? And shot
mm-hmm.
her as in her feet. You ain't going nowhere. You can't walk if you been shot in the feet. Where you going if you been shot in the feet? No fucking well. So even if I don't want to hear what you saying, I can't do nothing but lay there, shot the fuck up in the feet, and listen to your nagging ass commentary. But my thing goes into these men and and the narrative that's being portrayed these days is that black women don't have no worth. If a black woman has worth, she's still doing something wrong. If she doesn't act on it, then she missed out. If she doesn't go this way, then the high value man will lead past her and go to something else. If she a certain age, then boom, you done missed out completely. It's just your percentile of getting someone is just null to void. Leaving and then being that we know the circumstances that they are telling us we have, we're miserable beings further perpetuating this shit that they say we have. Whereas, who is these women you talking about?
Mhm.
Because I know plenty of black women that that are surrounded by ain't shit, inadequate,
Dear,
damaged,
dearless.
immature
Mm,
men that look
yeah,
like them, melanated men that look
dearless.
like them
Mm,
every day, and they cap for them motherfuckers every fucking day. I done had to sew a motherfucker's hand up because I have medical experience. Because this motherfucker that got mad at me and put his hand through a glass door. And I had to put six sutures in this motherfucker's hand.
so
After
you
you
Meg
done
the
broke
Stallion.
my door, you
You
broke
Meg the Stallion him.
my door. I didn't call the police. You done took my keys from me. You done took my car up the road, brought it back, got mad because I didn't react to that, and then put your hand through my door.
Yeah.
And then I ain't gonna lie, I did let the motherfucker fester for a whole day. They baby, oh my hand, I can see you can see the tendons in their hand.
Mm,
That's how severe the mark was, the injury. And instead of, because when you go to the hospital with certain injuries, they ask questions. So that this motherfucker didn't have to go to the hospital and all this shit, motherfucker breaking up shit, I didn't call the police. Because I understand as a black person that this system is set up against us, no matter your status or whatever in this life. So even though I punished that motherfucker because I could have been did it, could have put them little six little stitches in your motherfucking hand and you been about your way. But motherfucker, you pissed me off because it ain't even had to go there. But eventually, the next day, after 24 hours, I went ahead and said, with my motherfucking magnifying glass, sutured your hand. And if you see the motherfucking hand to this day, you can't really tell. So I didn't even do a sloppy job. I didn't on some madness do a sloppy job. My mission was to close your hand up. My mission was to make sure it looked nice. My mission was to make sure it didn't leave that much of a scar, because that's what I knew and how I had been trained. And I did just that. I didn't have a motherfucker punch me in my mouth. I ain't called the police. I had a motherfucker take my car. I ain't called the police. I had a motherfucker do all types of shit. And I didn't call the police. Because I believe in whatever warp sense you think it is, that we should take care of shit between ourselves first. Because these crackers don't mean us no good. And they're calling the police even if the cop is black. That motherfucker is still a tool for the system of white supremacy.
mhm.
So you are still my enemy.
Well, I feel similar to Bella. I think that the ones that we battle for or do not, let me just make it straight, turn them in or call the police for, is the ones who have given us or made us comfortable. Prime example, my story. My kid's father. I'm not going to be ashamed. My kid's father, who took care of every bill I had in my house. every car I ever drove. But I'll never forget when I was pregnant with my first daughter. My mama had left us in the house. And he got mad at me because, let me say, well, no, wait a minute. No, okay, let me back it up. I probably started the fight. I got mad I was pregnant and I wanted some nachos. And he was not gonna leave out the house to go get me no nachos. So I was not gonna let him out the house nowhere. And he literally grabbed me by my neck. He threw me to the wall so hard that it made a hole in the wall.
Ooh.
And then for the rest of the wall, he took his body, which is arm, and he went through the wall. He walked through it because I was blocking the door. When my mama got there, my mama said, "What the happened to my wall?" I said, "Me and Tony got the wrestling." And I hit the wall and I hit the wall. So I don't think she believed it, to be honest with you. She said, "Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. He gonna give me half of it, and and you gonna give me half of it to get the wall." But I could have honestly came out my mouth and said, "He choked me," and I was 17, and he threw my pregnant stuff against the wall so hard that I put a hole in it with my back of my head and my arm. And he took his shoulder and broke the rest of the wall and literally walked through it. But I didn't because at that time I was like, okay, she gonna stop him from coming around. She gonna call the police. My kid, my child dad, I'm pregnant. My child daddy is going to be in jail. And my next encounter was when I caught him cheating and he was outside the neighborhood. And I'm the type of person, I'm not gonna hoop and holler with you. I just can't do it. I can't hoop and holler with you. And at the time he was my husband. But you on the outside, okay, so okay, evidently what I'm doing for you is not good enough. So one of us gotta leave the house. He was refusing to leave. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave. Oh, you not going nowhere. He outside going off. Of course, we lived in a all white neighborhood, one way in, one way out. So somebody called Chesterfield police. But when Chesterfield police came that way, I was like, it wasn't even him hollering. So what did they talk about? They see her a male voice. You know what I'm saying? It could have been anybody out here. What makes y'all just come, to this house? He had literally broke the windshield of the car, but he forgot I had keys to the other cars. So that didn't bother me neither. And the police asked, well, what happened there? Okay, a brick came down, you know, when he was cutting the grass today. Did the police believe it? I don't know, but they left. I could have easily told on him. But because he was paying my bill, he was taking care of home. And what I was taught when I was younger was whatever goes on in this house stays in this house.
Mhm.
It should not cross my door path unless I make this statement. And if I
Mhm.
to make it, then it shall not leave.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So it's always two. Let's do this 80-20. Let's do this 80-20 chart. If this man can provide 80% of the time and it's only 20% bad, then guess what you roll with? The 80.
You go with 80. There you
He's
go.
whatever he was taught, whatever, I don't care what you go through. I don't care what you go through. You better take that man bad. You better take that man his badness and you better roll with it. But then you get a person gets tired, and I tell anybody, a woman is like a soda bottle. You can keep dripping in that soda bottle all day long. But soon it gets full and the top has to come off, it's gonna burst. And everything that dripped in that soda bottle is gonna be let out. So I became that soda bottle. And It was so bad, and it has gotten so bad. I'm not gonna lie. So we've been departed for over 4 years until 2020 this year. He has come by my house. He has put things and put some in my door because he know how to work on cars. He's put things in my door so I couldn't unlock my door. I still found a way. Okay, you big dummy. I know it. He has came by my house. He has caused ruckus to the point where he brought the police to his attention. Which at this point I didn't even care because he brought it to his attention. But to say that I'm saying is I was covered, I was sheltered, I was hindered, I was um all the above by what was in front of me, which was everything materialistic, what he can do. I didn't feel that I could be probably from what I was brought, I could be as strong as I should be without him or can be without him, you know? So when we're not telling on these men or not, if I really believe it's something that we've been blinded by or sheltered from or made comfortable by, you know, um, which makes us to keep because like right now, he could come do the Super 7. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go call the police. Boy, bye. I don't got time for it. But you couldn't pay me to do it. You could never pay me. And it was so bad is because when we separated, my family did not, I mean, they took his side over mine. I mean, calling me like, what in the world you ain't done and what's going on? And I'm singing Patty LaBelle in my head. If only you knew. But then when I started singing like a bird of what actually had went through, oh, I can't believe he would do something like this. I mean, they couldn't believe it. Why? Because they ain't never caught it. They ain't never seen it. I ain't never spilled my troubles. But y'all forgot what y'all taught me. Whatever was across my door seals needed to be stayed inside my house.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think it's coming from.
Um, I agree with both of y'all to a certain extent. Um, and that extent is in a perfect black world, you know, we would, or even this world, you know, perfect situation would be that we have our own police, that we have our own internal police in our communities where the black men take charge, and that if we have an issue, we were dealing with our husbands or brother or someone, another man, regardless of what it is. Because I've been in fights with my own brothers, you know what I'm saying? Flesh
Mm-hmm.
and blood brothers. So if we had something in our own communities where we could call, you know what I'm saying, a black 911, that would be great. Because what I'm not gonna do is protect black men to the point where we covering up stuff that's going on in the community. Because that's been going on long enough. You know, this dumbass no snitching rule, and we seeing crimes being committed. We know pedophilia and things like that is going on in the black community. So we're not going to do something about it. So again, this goes back to the black man. Like the only punishment or consequence that we have for our actions is the white man's police, right? But I'm telling you now, uh, a nigga shot me in the foot. Nigga, I'm calling the police, nigga. If I ain't got my pistol to shoot your ass back, bad. Some of these dudes, I will throw them to the wolves. You know what I'm saying? I had a situation where a nigga ran off with my truck, ran off with my money, and stole my guns. You know what I'm saying? So my biggest thing was like, nigga, you stole my gun. You can go do anything you want to with my weapon. That shit gonna fall back on me. So hell yeah, call the police on his ass. Hell yeah. This his picture, this his name, date of birth. This is the picture of the weapon that he stole. This is his social media. His dumbass that posted it on his social media. Yeah, go get him, cause you think I'm gonna go to jail or go down for some shit that this nigga decide he want to do to me? Cause he's a bitch ass nigga and supposed to be pro black at that. That's what hurt me to my core. The worst was he supposed to be pro black. You know what I'm saying? So man, hell no. I threw his ass straight to the system. Eat his ass alive. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? But on other situations, like if I like if I was you, Ash, kicking that situation, this is my husband, I'm pregnant, I want something particular to eat, you want to go get it, we get into it, you do some crazy shit like that. I probably wouldn't have called the police either because we know what the police gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So if it's some domestic stuff like we get into a fight, we get into an argument, something like that, I ain't gonna call the police. But if you doing something like you didn't threw the baby down on the floor, you know, you doing some crazy shit, you start murdering people in the house, man, I got to call the police. I got to. You know what I'm saying? We were talking about life or death, nigga.
Mhm.
Like you doing some wild shit, so your ass need to lay down. You need to lay down, and I can't make you lay down. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got to say about that. The whole Meg Thee Stallion thing, you know, how we even know she got shot for real, man? These motherfuckers lie so much. You know, they got everybody. Remember this election year, man. They got us. It's
They
real easy to have black
got,
folk talking
they got
about shit for
off.
1,000 years, man. You know what
They
I'm saying?
getting off. But they saying her story is not even adding up. Like one of them, she's saying she was at they were at her house, and the people in her neighborhood called the police. Then there's one story she's saying they got her saying she was minutes away from her house, and somebody in the neighborhood called. Then there's one story saying that she was taken on the ambulance, the rescue squad took it in her story. She said she rode back in the car with him to the hospital. And they came to when you, of course, you know, once you the hospital found out you got shot, the police come and she, you know what I'm saying? And then she was like, no, I didn't step on no glass. So you told the people, you didn't even tell the people you were shot. You told the people she was like, no, I didn't step on no glass. No, I didn't no, I was not mad about no fight about you and Kylie Jenner. So they're saying like even with her story, she is not adding up. And then she's not saying that he said anything. She's saying that his people is saying it. So and then why would you come back and incriminate your own self? You're telling us you lied to the law about
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Y'all had they had guns. It was guns. Why would I tell the law? I mean, why would I tell the law that we got guns to call? Okay, that's acceptable. I got you because of everything that's going on. But then you can come right back and say, I didn't say anything because we had guns in the car. Okay, so the first thing the law gonna say now is, what if something was going on with those guns? Was those guns legal? Was they, you know, registered? You're really making a more profound sound, even though we know what you're doing because somebody called you out. But you're making a more profound sound towards more trouble of yourself by doing this.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Getting our
gonna
own self in trouble. I'm not going to jail for no nigga, man. I'm no sir. No sir.
exactly. If it was that much, hey, yeah, he shot me. Let him do his time. Let him do whatever, whatever. If you're going to support him behind it, then that's what you do. But you have now dug a hole for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even adding up. I listened to every last one of the shade room put on her of all her videos that she did. It was 6 of them. It was six of them. And she literally had a contradiction in 3 of them.
Mm.
And I'm
Yeah,
saying,
she messed around and go to jail, man.
She's
She must
gonna,
have going to jail. Shit.
she has incriminated herself
Mm.
just by doing this. So yeah, the DEA is going to process him and say, okay, well, she said you shot her. Okay, well, his charge, he'll get a malicious wounding charge,
Mm.
but she's gonna get a whole felony charge, not one, but three counts of felony. One last for the false, a federal law officer,
Yeah, false official statement.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you having guns in the car. They
Mhm.
don't know with these guns attacking now, and where is three? And then you made a false report. That's a that's all incrimination yourself.
And for what? So are the black men going to set up a GoFundMe and advocate for Meg Thee Stallion? I highly doubt that because they hate that video she just did with Cardi B. So, they looking at her as being the disgusting part of the black women anyway. So they don't give a shit about her. You know what I'm
They
saying?
they know she better take her walk and go on over there to so she gonna eat it. She gonna eat her
Yeah.
walk.
Yeah, well, I mean, she big, she a big chick, right? So she'll be all right in there, man. But it's
Mhm.
sad that she be putting that this is why she going to jail. I'm not going to jail for no nigga unless he didn't bust some crackers upside the fucking head. You know what I'm saying? And they got me because they know I got information and I refuse to tell them. Other than that, I ain't going to jail for these niggas.
Boy, you
What?
shot me. You shot me, and that's that. A bullet wound is something total different. What you?
Mhm.
But
I'm not.
what if it's what's that movie where the chick took them oranges in that pantyhose and beat herself to set her husband up? What was
Oh,
it?
a thin line between love and hate. That was a
Hey,
boyfriend.
yeah, what
Oh,
was some shit like that?
yeah, yeah, that was thin line between love and hate.
Yeah, I'm
And
surprised niggas ain't bringing that up. She might have thin line and love and hate herself. That's what she did.
I'm
Can't
like,
trust none of these hoes.
and of course, Kiki Palmer is now mad about it because uh, three white women that came out and said Trey Songz and tried to rape them. And
What?
2 years ago, Kiki Palmer came out on air saying that Trey Songz had came across her the wrong way, and it kind of swept it under the rug. But now, two or three white women has came out and said Trey Songz has tried to, seduce them and rape them, and it has become a big scene. So,
But I
Palmer,
don't believe nothing that Becky said. I don't believe nothing that that bitch say. So, I don't believe none of these white hoes say. I don't give a
right?
fuck what they say. I don't believe none of these
I
bitches. You
say,
lying assholes. Your credibility is shit.
here go me. First thing I go to is okay, Trey Songz, about 180 soaking wet. Okay.
I mean, with that blouse he had on, I highly doubt if he's raping a female. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Or
Okay.
doing anything with a female.
Okay. Are you get ready to go to where I'm saying okay and of y'all and could nobody at one time what he working with a snake a cobra head I mean wait
I
he got
mean, let's keep it 100, man. You got three motherfuckers up here on this panel from the same place that nigga from, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know people that know this nigga, cuz. It's like, nigga, you wore that blouse, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you went to Petersburg High, nigga.
like
Like,
that's the thing, man. Y'all could hold him down and beat him to death like y'all couldn't do nothing with Trey like Trey Songz oh
Well,
a
he
nigga
did
from the
have a gun.
bird. Like, who's scared of a nigga from the bird?
we just gonna take him on the hillside court and we're gonna bring him on to Richmond and put him in hillside court. You know what I'm saying?
Man, them white hoes is
More,
lying.
more
They like,
like
well, keep
pat
your
him on the
car on low.
head for the
Stop,
car
love.
seat.
Huh?
Yeah.
They
I'm,
should have strapped him into his car seat. You couldn't have got
Mm.
out and shot her.
Man, you getting out the car being extra. That's feminine energy right there. He getting out the car being extra. Why is you so you that scared of her because she's 6 foot some and your ass like 5'2" or some shit? You that scared, bro? Like why? If you that scared, why is you even around her? If you that scared? Like I'm pretty sure it was men her size too. You scared of them too?
he, he
All
he
right,
was he was
You,
he
trying to
just like
hurt
you know,
her.
punk.
you know how chihuahuas are. They always think they bigger than they are. That's why they be yapping away like that, going
Ain't
on
gonna
their
bite
cat.
Napoleon shit. That's that
that.
Napoleon shit, man. Hmm. That's
This
probably why that other nigga mad too. The one we ain't gonna say his name. You know, I'm talking about Dame the cripple with the cane. Always talking about we want to bend somebody over his couch. Nigga, you ain't even your waist don't even come to the back of the couch. How you bending anything over? And your chest is to the back of the couch. Like you need to shut up.
Oh yeah, I forgot when he showed the couch and stuff like that. It was
Mm.
cracking jokes and said, "Yeah, I can," but it's like, yeah, but can you get up to it?
I mean, you 4'7". We ain't talking about beanbag chairs. They don't count. You know what I'm
right.
saying? They don't count. The little toddler sofa that unfold into a little bed that you get from the renter center don't count, my nigga.
You know what? Little sad. Little
Hey, you
sad.
know, I'm talking about the little joint with cars on it, Dora the
Right.
Explorer and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, them jokes don't count, cuz.
Well, you did notice the couch didn't have legs, so that means it was to the floor.
It might have been, he might have got a little fabric made for the little toddler sofa. You know what I'm
Little
saying?
man, little couch. Little people on the couch.
And
Yeah,
no, we're not talking about real little people before anyone that
yeah.
does fall in the little people category. We're just talking about extremely
Sure.
short dudes that are just mad that they're too tall to be categorized as a little person, but ain't tall enough to be counted as a real man. So
Right.
that's what we're talking about.
Talk about those ones where the word man is actually bigger than them.
Yeah, like man, come on. But man, this has been great. It was a great
Like,
conversation.
you're not my boyfriend. You're my little boy toy.
Mhm, mhm. You know, I don't know how Meg gonna find her way out of it. I don't know. It's just seemed real messy. But it could be publicity too, because I mean, didn't she just drop that song with Cardi B? So
Girl,
you
and
know,
was flow. I don't understand. Her foot won't hurt then. Well, maybe they shot the video before she got
so
shot.
Oh no, I think
yeah,
it's after the video got shot. I mean, well, after the video was made.
Okay, because the way she
uh,
floor about her WAP.
that
Yeah.
would have probably well, he may probably found out about that video. Probably was mad as a bit like hell no, bitch. You can't release that. Fuck no. That's my WAP. That's my WAP. You can't tell the whole world about the WAP. But he probably came up with the word. You know what I'm saying? She was like,
So
oh, that'll be a good song. Let me call
I,
Cardi up. We can do the nasty on that song.
I had to die laughing. I said, y'all better stop talking about y'all. Somebody was like, I need some GAD for my WAP. I said, and that's gonna equal a BAC. She said, what? I said, a badass child.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo,
They just
you
mad because they ain't got no word for their pain. That's all it is. They just ain't got no word for their pain. And if they try to come up with some shit, it's gonna be corny. Because what masculine male is gonna walk around talking about his male version of WAP? Nobody wants to hear that, nigga. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to hear that. But
yeah,
it's real. I look at this too. Didn't Beyonce just drop a badass video with Shatta Wale?
right.
So, I think, and then, I just found out too that Kelly Rowland dropped a badass video too. that's dealing with, blackness. It's not as black, of course, as Beyonce, but she got all dark skinned women in her video, and everybody's beautiful, and nobody's twerking, and it's elegant, it's beautiful. I'm like, what's one good way to steal the shine away from Beyonce?
Hmm. Beyonce. Beyonce.
So I don't know. Beyonce dropped her joint after this Meg Stallion thing happened, but I think all them celebrities know what they doing. You know what I'm saying? They know who's in the studio, who's getting ready to do what. I think they be all snitching on each other, just the public doesn't know. So I don't know.
But you know what? I agree with you though. I honestly do think that they will. This week gonna go out to Keisha. Next week is gonna go out to B, and then they gonna put it. Next thing you know, somebody gonna be in a beef. Because Beyonce gonna been and said something, they gonna say Beyonce been and said something, Beyonce ain't said nothing, they gonna say Cardi been and said something, and this will be and Lil Kim in the background saying something, and ain't nobody saying nothing, and we ain't this what we all doing, going right on to the internet like we're doing now. Oh my
Mm,
God, y'all see what they said. Oh my
mm,
God, rapping out.
Look, Kim doesn't exist anymore, by the way. She doesn't exist anymore. I don't know who that woman is. That's a whole nother topic we could do on another latest night. I don't know who that woman is. That is not Lil Kim.
That is
That's
not
somebody. Yeah, no.
his speaking.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Black Americans talking about the Beyonce video? Because I don't see much people saying
No,
anything.
Wait a
it's
minute, who's snoring?
I know that ain't that fellow. Hey,
It's funny.
Mhm.
wake her up.
I'm gonna just mute her.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen too much people talking about it, but if y'all haven't seen it, check it out. It's dope. I'm not a Beyonce fan, but it's a dope ass song. It's a dope ass video. So
Yeah, I'm
that's
not. I'm
what
not.
I follow.
I have not been a Beyonce fan ever since I went to her concert and her whole audio system failed, and I seen her. She was lip singing. So yeah, I
Oh.
yeah, like I stopped. I stopped.
I
You know,
mean, would be realistically doing all that exercise she be doing. Do you think that you can still sing and
no,
not be winded, and you gonna be sounding like you tired singing? I mean, she be doing a whole lot, like Tina Turner on 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, good gracious, child, my neck hurt. You throw that neck any harder trying to swing that hair, like damn, you know. But anyway, this is
Mhm.
a great conversation, ladies.
it was.
Um, I'm a bow out. Like I said, don't forget, it's what you answer to, ladies. They can say whatever the hell they want to say out their ignorant ass mouth. And like I said, you can always respond with your mama,
Mm-hmm.
or fuck you, you bitch ass nigga, because or
Who
you can
was that?
just, like I said, it's what you answer to. So if you don't say anything, you keep walking away, who they talking to? They ain't talking to you.
Mhm.
That's true.
That's true. Oh yeah, and another thing. Stop claiming that they call you out your name. I'm sick of y'all saying that when people are cursing you out, they call me out my that ain't your damn name.
It ain't. It's not.
Stop claiming it. That's the problem. Okay, so yeah. So the ladies are pretty much saying what I was gonna say is hey, um don't acknowledge it. You know you ain't. Keep on stepping. Um oh and let's see. My take is hey, if we stick to our guns and we let the men in our lives know that look, I know you mean it as a term infection, but I don't care for it too much anymore. You know, I still hear the negative connotation. I know what you mean, but please, please, no, please don't refer to me as your B word. Call me your woman, your girl, your wife, lover, my woman, my dame, my I'm trying to remember that old fashioned word besides dame that meant woman. My broad, you know, but no, 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 no. And they will correct themselves, Yeah. But you gotta, stick to it. But if you're comfortable with it, tell them, look, babe, we're gonna do this in private. Not in front of the kids. I don't want the girls getting used to being called that word. Just be me and you. But not in public, not in front of the kids. Because they ain't gonna understand us correcting them if we doing the same thing. And as for Meg, okay. At the time, okay, I understood why she didn't say anything. I grew up where, in some ways, we were taught to protect men and boys, black men and boys, because at the time they were the most in danger from being killed, you know, by the authorities or hurt. And you didn't want to be the cause of that. You want them to stop doing what they were doing, but you don't know how it's going to go. So it was best to be a err on the caution. But once you got to the hospital, you could have said something then. But I'm thinking, if you're going to, not say anything, you're gonna have to stick it through all the way. Even though the memes were out there, some people were making fun and stuff like that, because as the ladies had said, you now putting yourself in danger of being arrested if the police decides to do so or the authorities decide to do so. Hey, so you either should have went all the way in spite of all the means and stuff like that. I know that's hard. That's hard, especially when they dragging him and stuff like that, and you're getting all the memes and stuff like that. But what was more important to you at the moment? Exonerating yourself or protecting the dude. I know, ladies, that's kind of extreme. We're trying to get beyond that. But the dude shot you. There's a gun involved, he's shooting. I've been like, oh, you trying to kill me. There's no protecting you, but that's me. I don't know what I would have done in the situation. I know I've been too much agony, you know, and stuff like that, and couldn't be thinking rationally. Uh, and that's what. Oh, yeah, he wasn't thinking rationally. He was in too much agony. Um, but once we got to the hospital and the pain medication kick in, I was gonna rat your Negro ass out because you shot me. It's either I don't say nothing, I get you myself, or to turn in and you be safe with the police. Because if I get you, I ain't gonna be nice. I ain't gonna be that gentle. I'm gonna make sure it leaves a more lasting impression than my bullet wounds. But that's me. Let me cut that out. I don't know what I do. I ain't never been shot. I had a gun pulled on me, but I ain't been shot. Whew. All right, so I'm kind of lingering. I'm trying to keep from going into storytelling mode. Well, this is not domestic violence, Emmanuel. Well, I guess it is, but they weren't involved with each other. As far as I could tell, they were friends who had a disagreement. They couldn't. They got loud. They got rowdy. Couldn't take it anymore. She got out the car. She got closer to home. Said, "Get it. I don't discuss this no more. I'm walking home." That's my theory. Now, what was going through his mind that he couldn't let it go? I would have let her walk. Okay, yeah, go ahead, walk and stuff like that. But that's me. Why would you take a gun? You know you're not supposed to be around guns. You got, stuff is going on. Gunshot ain't quiet unless you got a silencer on that. Then that'd be even more suspicious. Gunshots are not quiet. Why go to that extreme over a freaking disagreement? Somebody sound like they're all in their emotions and in their feelings. Was she winning the argument? Okay, you see, I got into story mode. Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, he's looking a little suspect, and but yeah, I was kind of upset when I heard that they were accusing her of snitching and stuff like that. That she was doing that, but hey, they didn't. She didn't have to snitch. As far as I know, the part I read, there's a there was a camera in the area that recorded parts of the situation. I don't know, so maybe that's why, because she didn't tell it. They arrested him anyhow. So hey, they might have already knew something about him, and there was a gunshot involved. That of course, if you have a weapon charge on you before, they're gonna be eyeballing you. But I think this Meg Thee Stallion thing took it into in some directions didn't know, or I wasn't thinking it was gonna go. But maybe we need to be more involved. Maybe some of us might have been trained that we watch out for our little brothers. We was the go between black men and other ethnic group of women, trying to come at a men knowing that they couldn't fight them back or wouldn't fight them back because they're women. So I was taught, no, no, no. You stand in for your brother, your cousin, your uncle. Well, I never had to go as far as my dad and my grandfather, but they had the women and stuff like that. But I do remember standing between cousins, brothers, younger uncles, and white females who would take advantage that they knew that even if she outright attacked him and he just hit her back or pushed her away, nothing was going to be done to her. Everything was going to be done to him. The whole freaking book was going to be thrown at him. So I think what happened is that kind of, protecting our boys, from having to deal with situations like that, went too far. It was like, you got to protect the black man. He's in danger. They killing him. They beating him up. He's disappearing. Into accepting that, okay, I'm not gonna call the police on if he hits me, maim me, shoot me, choke me, throw me, and stuff like that. Each woman gotta define the line of how far she's willing to protect black men, whether they are the stranger they meet in the street, the friend that they have an argument with, their man, their lover, and every other way. Okay, y'all. Oh my goodness, we're in the 3 hours. All right, thank y'all all for coming to ladies' night. Thank you, Hassan, Emmanuel Briggs, sticking it out for 3 hours like that with us. Highly favored, Nikki, um, Lucy, Bell, for being with us. It was great talking with you and giving us some insight. Bella and Ash Cake. Um. Oh shucks, I don't want to forget anybody. And yeah, and oh okay, and a new person, LaShawn Gravely. Yes, I want to thank y'all for all coming and staying with us. as late as it is. As you can see, our topics could take us in every kind of direction, and even makes you want to open or dig deeper into it. All right, y'all have a good night, and let's leave out with some music. Peace, power.